Women never forget the one who makes them feel truly seen, respected, and safe. They hold close the consistency of actions, the encouragement in struggles, the appreciation of their efforts, and the joy in small moments. It's not the grand gestures, but the sincerity that lasts forever. When a woman feels truly seen, something powerful awakens within her. It is not about being noticed in a superficial way, like a compliment on appearance or a passing glance. It is about being recognized at the deepest level, where her thoughts, her emotions, her struggles, and her strengths are acknowledged without her having to beg for it. Women carry layers of expectations, responsibilities, and silent battles that often go unseen by the world. But when someone pauses long enough to look beyond the surface, to notice the little shifts in her mood, the effort she puts into the smallest details, or the dreams she quietly nurtures, she feels valued in a way she cannot forget. To feel seen is to feel understood. It is when she shares something from her heart and it isn't brushed aside or ignored. Instead, it is received with genuine interest. When her words are not only heard but remembered, it shows her she matters. For a woman, being seen is not about someone agreeing with everything she says. It is about someone making the effort to understand where she is coming from. That simple act creates a sense of safety and belonging that stays with her forever. Women remember the little things. She remembers when someone notices the change in her tone, even when she says, "I'm fine." She remembers when someone acknowledges the effort she puts into her work, her family, or even herself. She remembers when her silence is respected, when her unspoken feelings are understood without forcing her to explain them. These are the things that tell her she is not invisible, that she is not just existing, but truly recognized. In a world where people are quick to judge, quick to label, and quick to overlook, being truly seen is rare. And when a woman encounters that rare presence, it touches her at a soul-deep level. It makes her feel that her essence, not just her role, her beauty, or her abilities, is appreciated. She carries that feeling with her, sometimes for a lifetime, because it validates her existence in the most profound way. Feeling seen allows her to embrace her authenticity. She no longer feels the need to hide behind masks or play roles that society demands. She can simply be herself, flawed, growing, and human. When someone honors her as she is without trying to mold her into something else, she experiences a freedom that is unforgettable. That memory, that sense of recognition, becomes a part of her emotional fabric. To be seen is one of the greatest gifts a woman can receive, and once she experiences it, she never forgets it. It doesn't matter how much time passes or how life changes. That feeling remains etched in her heart because it is rare, it is precious, and it is real. Consistency speaks louder than any words could ever convey. It is the quiet strength that proves intentions over time, the steady rhythm that reassures a woman she can trust what she feels, not just what she hears. Words can charm, promises can impress, and declarations may sound beautiful in the moment, but without the weight of consistency behind them, they fade like echoes in an empty room. What lasts, what carves itself into memory, are the repeated actions that align with those words, the reliability that brings certainty in a world often filled with uncertainty. When a woman sees consistency, she feels secure. She knows she doesn't have to guess, doesn't have to question whether she means something today, but will be forgotten tomorrow. It is not about grand displays of effort or constant attention, but about the dependable pattern of showing up, of doing what was said, and of being steady even when circumstances shift. That type of presence builds trust more deeply than any emotional confession could ever achieve. A woman notices when actions match words. She notices when promises are honored without reminders, when respect remains intact regardless of the situation, when support doesn't vanish in the face of difficulty. These consistent gestures whisper to her that she matters, that she isn't just an option or a passing thought. She remembers this because it gives her the rare gift of stability in a world where many things are fleeting. Consistency doesn't have to be dramatic. It shows itself in the smallest moments, remembering details she shared, checking in when it matters, keeping the same level of respect whether in public or private, being there when it counts instead of only when it's convenient. It's the reliability in the little things that builds unshakable trust in the bigger things. And women never forget the steady presence that makes them feel safe, valued, and prioritized. When actions and words align, they create harmony. A woman feels deeply respected because she doesn't have to live in confusion or doubt. There is no mixed signal to decode, no hidden meaning to unravel. The truth is made clear through patterns, not declarations. And it is this clarity that stays in her heart because it gives her peace of mind. Many can say the right words, but few can embody them with their actions. That is why consistency stands out. It is rare, it is precious, and it is unforgettable. A woman remembers not the fleeting promises, but the lived reality of someone who showed her through steady effort that she mattered. That reliability becomes etched in her memory, not because of perfection, but because of the honesty and effort woven into it. Emotional safety is one of the most powerful and unforgettable experiences a woman can have. It is not something that can be faked or forced because it reveals itself in the way she feels when she allows herself to be vulnerable. When she feels safe, she opens up her heart in ways she never thought possible. She shares her fears, her dreams, her flaws, and her hidden struggles without hesitation because deep down she knows she will not be judged, mocked, or dismissed. That sense of safety is rare, and once she finds it, she carries the memory of it with her forever. A woman does not forget the moments when her emotions were honored instead of belittled. She remembers when her tears were met with patience instead of irritation, when her silence was respected instead of pressured, when her laughter was celebrated instead of taken for granted. To her, these are not small things. These are moments where she feels her humanity is fully recognized and accepted. They give her the courage to be authentic, to put down her guard, and to trust the space she is in. Emotional safety is not about always having the perfect answers or solutions. It is about presence. It is about showing her, through consistent care, that her feelings matter even when they are messy, complicated, or difficult to understand. Women hold on to the memory of being accepted without conditions, of being embraced without having to perform or pretend. That type of safety becomes a sanctuary in her heart, and no amount of time or distance can erase it. When a woman feels emotionally safe, she grows. She starts to trust her own voice more. She takes braver steps toward her dreams because she knows that even if she stumbles, she is not alone in the fall. She learns that her emotions are not weaknesses to hide, but truths to honor. And the one who gives her that freedom becomes unforgettable because they gave her the gift of believing in herself. The world often teaches women to guard their emotions, to hide their pain, to remain strong no matter what. But deep down, every woman longs for a space where she can simply be without the fear of being misunderstood or ridiculed. When she finally experiences it, she treasures it because it heals wounds she may not even speak of. That healing becomes tied to the memory of the one who created the safe space for her. A woman never forgets where she felt free to express her heart without the fear of rejection. She never forgets the comfort of knowing her emotions were safe, respected, and held with care. That memory becomes a part of her forever because it is more than kindness. It is a form of love that touches the deepest parts of her soul. Respect is one of the deepest forms of recognition, and when it is shown beyond circumstances, it becomes unforgettable. A woman never forgets the moments when she was respected, not for what she could give, not for how she looked, and not for the role she played, but simply for who she was. True respect does not shift depending on mood, convenience, or situation. It is steady, it is unwavering, and it holds its ground even when things are difficult. That kind of respect stays in her memory because it assures her that her worth is constant, not conditional. A woman notices when respect is given in her absence as much as in her presence. She remembers when her dignity is protected even when she is not around to see it. She remembers when disagreements did not turn into attacks, when differences of opinion did not mean the loss of kindness. That is respect beyond circumstances, the kind that doesn't vanish when emotions are tested or when life gets hard. It's a rare kind of integrity that speaks volumes without needing to be announced. Respect also shows itself in the smallest details. It's in the way her time is valued, her choices acknowledged, her boundaries honored. It's in the way she is listened to without interruption, in the way her opinions are taken seriously, even if they differ. These may appear to be simple gestures, but to a woman they communicate something powerful, that she matters as a human being, not as an object of convenience. When respect is present even in conflict, it leaves an even deeper impact. To disagree without demeaning, to correct without humiliating, to express frustration without stripping her of dignity, these are the moments she carries with her. Because anyone can be respectful when things are easy, but true respect shows itself in the difficult moments, when patience is tested and emotions run high. And when she experiences that, she does not forget it. Respect beyond circumstances also means seeing her as more than the labels the world gives. It means recognizing her individuality, her intelligence, her struggles, and her uniqueness. It means not confining her worth to appearances, status, or roles. It means acknowledging her as a complete person with her own dreams, fears, and identity. This level of respect doesn't fade with time. It becomes etched in her heart because it is rare to find. A woman never forgets the one who treated her with dignity even when there was nothing to gain. She never forgets the one who honored her feelings even when it was inconvenient, who valued her presence even when life was chaotic, who respected her boundaries even when it required patience. That memory lingers because it reflects authenticity. It shows her that her humanity was acknowledged in its entirety, not selectively. And that kind of respect, steady and unconditional, becomes unforgettable. Encouragement has the power to shape a woman's life in ways she may never have imagined. When someone genuinely supports her growth, she does not forget it. Growth is not always easy. It requires courage, sacrifice, and often walking into the unknown. Many women are told to shrink themselves, to play small, to stay within limits defined by others. But when she encounters someone who not only believes in her potential, but actively reminds her of it, that moment becomes unforgettable. It plants a seed of strength that continues to grow long after the words have been spoken. Encouraging her growth means seeing in her what she sometimes cannot see in herself. It is reminding her of her capabilities when fear clouds her vision. It is recognizing her strengths when she doubts her worth. These moments of encouragement matter because they create a mirror through which she can finally recognize her own power. And when that happens, it changes the way she sees herself. She remembers who gave her that push, not because it was loud or dramatic, but because it was real and rooted in faith in her potential. Women treasure those who do not limit them to who they are today, but inspire them toward who they could become. They remember the ones who applauded their progress, no matter how small, and celebrated their victories, even when the world overlooked them. Encouragement becomes fuel. It transforms hesitation into confidence, dreams into plans, and plans into reality. When she looks back at her journey, she ties her moments of breakthrough to the encouragement that helped her take those steps. This kind of support is not about controlling her path or pushing her towards someone else's idea of success. It is about creating space for her to dream bigger and walk bravely in her own direction. Encouragement respects her individuality while strengthening her spirit. It does not demand perfection but celebrates progress. It does not focus on where she falls short but highlights where she is strong and capable. A woman who receives this type of support will never forget it because it helped her grow into the fullest version of herself. There is something powerful about being believed in when you doubt yourself. For a woman, that memory stays imprinted because it came at a time when she needed it most. She remembers the reassurance that her voice mattered, that her ideas were worth pursuing, that her dreams were not too big. She carries that with her because encouragement is not just about words. It is about planting hope, building resilience, and empowering her to rise. A woman never forgets the one who encouraged her growth, who stood beside her when the world tried to hold her back, who believed in her even when she stumbled. That encouragement becomes part of her story. It shapes her journey, and it leaves an imprint that time cannot erase. Difficult times reveal truths that easy days often hide. It is in moments of struggle, uncertainty, or pain that a woman sees who stands steady and who drifts away. She may forget the ones who only celebrated her during her victories, but she never forgets the one who remained when life was heavy, when silence weighed more than words, and when the storms seemed unending. That steady presence is etched in her memory because it represents more than support. It represents loyalty, strength, and care when she needed it most. Standing steady in difficult times does not always mean having the perfect solution or fixing what's broken. It is about being there without judgment, about holding space for her to process, about not abandoning her when she feels fragile. A woman remembers when someone chose patience over frustration, when they offered calm instead of criticism, when they stayed instead of walking away. That steadiness brings her comfort, because in those moments she realizes she is not facing her struggles alone. Life tests everyone, and women often carry burdens silently. But when someone notices her struggles and refuses to turn away, it creates a bond that words cannot describe. She remembers the times her emotions were respected instead of dismissed, when her worries were heard instead of minimized, when her pain was met with compassion rather than indifference. These moments, though they may seem small to others, become unforgettable to her because they brought her strength during weakness. Steadiness in difficult times also means consistency when circumstances are uncertain. It means not letting temporary problems change the level of respect, care, or loyalty shown to her. She notices when someone remains the same through highs and lows, when their actions are not swayed by convenience. That kind of consistency builds trust that is rare, and it lingers in her heart long after the difficulty has passed. Sometimes standing steady is about silence, not words. It is about being there without demanding explanations, about offering reassurance through presence, about showing strength simply by not leaving. To a woman, that silence speaks louder than grand gestures ever could. It tells her she is valued, even in her most vulnerable moments. She remembers that feeling because it is rare to find someone who can remain calm and grounded when everything else feels unstable. The truth is, anyone can enjoy the sunshine, but not everyone can stand in the rain. Women remember those who stood in the rain with them. They carry with them the memory of the ones who stayed when things got messy, painful, or uncertain. That steadiness becomes unforgettable because it represents something more than companionship. It represents strength of character, depth of care, and a love that does not waver with circumstances. A woman never forgets who stood steady in her darkest days, because that presence became a source of light. It reminded her she was not alone, and that kind of memory lasts forever. Appreciation may seem like a small gesture, but to a woman, it holds immense power. Women often pour themselves into everything they do, whether it is their work, their relationships, or their personal growth. Much of this effort goes unnoticed, taken for granted, or dismissed as routine. But when someone genuinely acknowledges her efforts, she feels seen, valued, and respected in a way that lingers in her heart. She may not always ask for recognition, but she treasures it deeply when it is given sincerely. That memory of appreciation never fades because it reminds her that what she gives is not invisible. A woman remembers when someone notices the details, the meal she prepared with care, the way she listened when others needed her, the sacrifices she made silently, the strength she displayed while carrying her burdens. These moments often go unacknowledged. Yet when they are recognized, even with the simplest words of gratitude, it makes her feel that her effort matters. She holds on to that memory because it validates the love, time, and energy she invests in others and herself. Appreciation is not about flattery or exaggerated praise. It is about authenticity. A woman can tell the difference between empty words and genuine recognition. True appreciation comes from attentiveness, seeing what she does without being asked, valuing her contributions without comparing them to anyone else's. That type of appreciation becomes unforgettable because it reassures her that she is not being overlooked, that her presence and effort carry meaning. When a woman feels appreciated, her spirit grows lighter. She feels more motivated, more secure, and more at peace with what she gives. She remembers the encouragement of knowing that someone noticed not just the results, but the dedication behind them. It tells her she is not taken for granted, and that simple truth stays with her for a lifetime. Even the smallest gestures of recognition have lasting impact. A thank you for her time, acknowledgement of the way she balanced multiple responsibilities, admiration for her resilience in the face of challenges. All of these moments show her that her efforts are worth more than silent expectation. They create a lasting bond because they honor her humanity, not just her role. Appreciation in difficult times holds even greater weight. When she feels exhausted, overwhelmed, or unseen, and someone takes the time to say, "I notice what you're doing and it matters," it revives her spirit. She carries those words with her long after the moment has passed because they offered her strength when she needed it most. A woman never forgets the one who made her feel valued through appreciation. She never forgets the kindness of recognizing what she gives without demanding more, without diminishing her, and without assuming it is owed. Those moments of gratitude become timeless in her heart because they affirm the truth every woman longs to feel, that her efforts, her love, and her sacrifices do not go unseen. Joy is one of the most beautiful emotions a woman can experience, and when it comes from a place of sincerity, it leaves a lasting imprint on her heart. Genuine joy is not about grand gestures, expensive gifts, or carefully planned surprises. It is about the authenticity of the moment, the laughter that flows naturally, the ease of being able to be herself without fear of judgment. A woman never forgets the one who gave her moments where she felt truly alive, moments that lit up her soul and reminded her of the beauty of simply being present. What makes genuine joy so unforgettable is its simplicity. It might come from sharing a smile during an ordinary day, finding humor in a situation that could have been stressful, or creating memories that seem small but carry deep meaning. Women remember these instances because they are not forced, they are not artificial, They come from a place of real connection. These moments teach her that happiness is not measured by extravagance, but by sincerity. A woman treasures joy that makes her feel light after carrying heavy burdens. Life is often filled with responsibilities, challenges, and unspoken worries that weigh her down. But when someone creates space for laughter, playfulness, or simply a carefree moment, it becomes priceless to her. It reminds her that she is not just someone who gives, sacrifices, and endures. She is also someone who deserves to smile, to laugh, and to feel free. That memory becomes a source of warmth she holds onto whenever life feels overwhelming. Joy also builds a deeper bond than most realize. When a woman experiences moments of happiness with someone, those memories become engraved in her heart. She may forget the words spoken, but she will never forget how she felt in those moments. The emotional imprint of joy is powerful. It creates an association of safety, love, and comfort that she carries with her long after the moment has passed. It is not about perfection. Genuine joy can come in the middle of imperfections, shared laughter over mistakes, comfort in simple activities, finding beauty in ordinary days. What matters is that the joy is real, not staged, not conditional. That authenticity is what makes it unforgettable because it reflects truth rather than performance. Even the smallest gestures can create joy that lasts a lifetime. A thoughtful act, an inside joke, a simple moment of presence when she least expected it, these things stay with her. They become memories she revisits during hard times, reminders of happiness that once touched her heart. They are proof that joy does not have to be rare. It only needs to be genuine. A woman never forgets the one who brought her moments of true joy because those memories become part of her soul. They are timeless treasures carried with her not because of their grandeur, but because of their sincerity. And that kind of joy once felt can never be erased. When you look at all these truths together, one thing becomes clear. A woman never forgets how she was made to feel. It is not the empty words, the fleeting gestures, or the surface-level attention that stays with her. What she carries in her heart are the moments she felt truly seen, respected, safe, encouraged, appreciated, supported, and genuinely joyful. These experiences touch the deepest parts of her soul because they affirm her worth without conditions. Time may pass, circumstances may change, but those feelings remain. They become memories she holds close, lessons she never unlearns, and a reminder of the rare authenticity that is impossible to erase.